If you're someone who dresses like me, this is your holy grail. This is 50 meters of heaven.
What I like, and I think this goes to kind of your own personal style, is like you're wearing a suit not because it's a de rigueur or asked of you to go to work in a suit, but it's purely down for the enjoyment, the appreciation and respect for the tailoring, the craftsmanship.
As we as humans progress in the world, generally things that we had to do at one stage, we no longer have to do. Yeah. Running, for example. Yeah. If you never want to run ever again in your entire life, there's a strong chance that you don't have to. Some things are a need and other things are a want. And if you can find small pleasures in those really minuscule little moments in life, by all means, grab them. But I remember when I first started getting into tailoring and doing my research, Savile Row was the place. I love being surrounded by people that have a similar interest than I do. It's not just a job for these guys. Like, they love working here. They love working for the brands they love. They love wearing the clothes they wear. And to me, I love being in that environment. I love being surrounded by that energy.
So what's next, Damien? What are we doing next? Do you now have something a little bit more where you can shape it and kind of direct it?
It's even further down the line from that. Again, we talked about how the content became to be what it is, and it was all essentially consumer generated. So like this thing came from the comments because I accidentally didn't edit it out of one video. You read the comment section and it's all like, I would dress like this if. And most of it is, I would dress like this if I had the money. So now the next step is to launch a brand that you can obtain the same aesthetic, but at an affordable price point. Right. If someone had said to me 5 years ago, you would have nearly 3 million followers across all platforms, I'd been like, you're on drugs. I just enjoyed showing my personal style, my personality. You know, I enjoyed creating this like little quiet corner on the internet that people can come and get their brain tickled by shoe trees being popped out of shoes.
Yeah, there's your quiet corner of style and individualism versus aspirational, faux, flexing.
There's a difference between like being inspirational and aspirational. If you can manage to get that across to people, I mean, that's your golden ticket, right?
Right.
A lot of people forget the social part of social media, and people are like, how are you so responsive in your DMs? How are you so responsive in your comments? I'm like, because I take the time to be.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Sure,
and that's why, like, when that person stops me on the street, they share that selfie or tag me in it, like, I'll see it, I'll reshare it.
But when they kind of bump into you and have that sort of slightly starstruck, which is probably what happened, is that surreal? I mean, it's flattering, obviously, but it still must be, like, incredible.
One, I'm probably very easy to spot on the street. Like, you see me in a flat cap and a big coat covered in tattoos, I'm like, it's definitely that dude, right? But the main thing in my head, no matter how bad of a day I'm having, if someone meets me, they get the best version of me every single time. Because the last thing I want is them to go away and be like, oh, I met that guy from TikTok, or I met that guy from Instagram, and he was an asshole. That is the last thing I want. The second that happens is the second everything I've ever worked for is lost.
You bear a lot of responsibility almost, because you almost feel, just like I guess any celebrity does, that what they say and what they communicate has a lot to do with the trajectory in some way of their lives. You're mentoring your audience, especially the younger ones.
There's a young guy, he tags me in his outfit video and like just a mirror selfie on his story. And the odd day, like if I don't have important things going on my story on the day, I'll reshare it. And yesterday, I think it was, someone responded to it. Stop sharing this kid, he has no style, this is cosplay. And I responded to that guy going, I was once this kid.
Wow.
Right, 12 years ago, I was that kid. And I didn't get a response from the influencers that I followed. In his head, he is now bulletproof because I've gave him that ability. And to me, that is invaluable.
That's amazing.
That's the most important thing about my entire social media. By doing something so small.
Yeah.
And to me, the second I lose that is the second I delete the account entirely. Because what's the point? My granddad wore a suit and tie pretty much every single day that I knew he was alive. And then I was like early memories of coming home from school and watching James Bond movies with my dad. And then generally you kind of like gravitate to certain like style periods like Cary Grant or Clark Gable, or even modern people like David Gandy, for example, or David Beckham. You take little hints of like what they do, and then you try mash it into something that becomes somewhat unique to your own.
Sure.
Yeah.
Coming down here for the first time in a while, seeing actual, tailoring, actual suits being made is great.
These are all considered purchases. There's nothing on this street that is an impulse buy.
Correct.
Nothing.
Correct.
If you can physically see with your eyes somebody building something from nothing, that's gonna be the tipping point for a lot of people. The other side of this is number one Savile Row. Do you know what I mean? Like just that address alone yes, okay, the turmoil and the selling to a billionaire, doing more ready to wear, leaning into that end of it, we're losing a little bit of the essence of it. But would you rather lose the essence of it or lose the entire thing?
Sure,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, good
because
point.
there is an element where you cut off the arm to save the body.
Right,
And sometimes that is unfortunately the case.
One of the more powerful things you kind of suggested today was the idea that you're celebrating that individualism. Like, you know, I dress the way I want to dress because that's what fits me. Young people especially are kind of peer pressured into looking, thinking, feeling a certain way. If a 15-year-old kid wants to dress up in a three-piece suit when his friends are wearing trackies and hoodies because of something that he came across on your feed, I think that's awesome.
It takes a lot of courage for you to like step out, especially in front of like your friend group, right? If I can be the person to encourage that person, then be like, no, mate, do it, right? And it's okay for your friends to have a bit of banter, right? That banter also comes to a breaking point where you need to actually evaluate and be like, okay, are these people really the people that I want to be surrounding myself with, right? If they're not elevating me to be the best version of me, maybe they're not my friends. And I've left many friends behind in the past, and I've made many more, right? But the friends that have stuck around are always the ones that I'll tell them my dreams that are like, I mean, absolutely mental pie in the sky. And they're like, all right, yeah, mate, go do it. Go, yeah, if that's what you want, go get it.